Hey ladies, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Mrs. Emily Paints, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create this glam for a nighttime in the city. I'm going to be using the Botanical palette by Beauty Bay, and we're going to be starting off with the shade Moth, and we're going to be applying this all over our crease and on our lower lid, just like I'm doing right now. These shades are actually very powdery, you guys, so you might have a lot of fallout, but not to worry. This is why, you guys, we do not want to be applying this with a full face of makeup already. We should apply this before we do our foundation, which is what I did. And also I did not set my concealer so that this comes on smoothly and nicely and it grabs the product good, like I'm doing right now. Next, we're going to be using that same brush without a lot of product after we already applied it on our eye. And we're just going to be going in small circular motions, literally just right on the outside of the line where we set this eyeshadow. And the reason why we're doing this, you guys, is to make it easier to blend out the next shade that we're going to use. So I'm just going to do small circular motions from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner, as you guys can see. Try staying on the crease, you guys. Do not go lower than this, because if you do start blending at the bottom where the dark shade is at, it can start to look patchy, and we don't want it to do that. So just stay in this area in small circular motions and side to side motions. Next, we're going to be going in with the shade Nest, and we're going to be applying this on our crease right above that shade in small circular motions, you guys. You want to take a small amount of product and start applying that little by little, because these shades go a long way, you guys. With just a little bit of product, you have a lot. So make sure you guys just blend that really well all the way across, and do not go above this area, you guys. If some of the eyeshadow disappears from the bottom, it's okay, because we're going to add a little bit more after. Little easy trick that I like to do, you guys. I like to blend in circular motions before I start doing side to side ones, because when you go in circular motions, it's a lot easier for you to blend than if you're just going side to side, and it's easier to correct things. So next, I'm going to be going in with the shade Hemp, and this is like a very light grayish tone, and we're going to be applying this with the fluffy brush at the very top. It's okay to go all the way up towards your eyebrow, no biggie. What we want is for this to look very blended. And like I said, if some of the eyeshadow starts to disappear, it is totally fine. We're going to add a little bit more after this. Next, I'm going to be going back in with the shade Nest, and I'm going to be applying a little bit more in that area in circular motions again. While I blend this, I just want to take advantage and ask you guys, where did you guys come from onto my channel? I'm very curious. Did you guys come from Instagram? Did you find me on YouTube? From TikTok? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to know how you guys found my channel. When working with dark eyeshadows like this, you guys have to trust the process, because it is a lot of blending, you guys. Like a lot. There's a lot of scenes that I cut off of these videos because I have to keep blending and blending and blending. Now I'm going back in with the shade Hemp, and I'm just going to blend that shade out together with the other one. And we're trying to get this to look as smoky and as blended as possible at the top, you guys, like I said. After this, we're going to be going back in with the other shade Moth, and we're going to be applying this in the same spot that we applied it in the beginning, and also circular motions right at the top so that it blends with the other shades. Now you can kind of see the eyeshadow coming together. I'm so excited to use the shimmery shade that we used for this eye look. You guys, it is gorgeous. Although it looks a little bit more like purplish grayish in person, on camera it kind of just looks like a gray, but in person it has like a purple undertone, and it's so pretty. Next, I'm going back in with the shade Nest, and I'm just gonna be blending this out some more so that we can finally start moving on to cutting our crease. To cut my crease, you guys, I'm using a foundation from Beauty Creations, and I really love this foundation to cut my crease, you guys, because it's just so nice and super thick. The consistency is perfect for this. So I'm just going to be using a flat brush, and I'm going to be applying it to cut my crease. Also, I normally do clean out my eyeshadow with some makeup remover liquid before I do this, but I didn't have any, so this was my best option. But I will show you guys that technique in another video. It is really, really nice. It comes out super smooth. I'll show you guys how to do that in another video. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. So I'm not going to be dragging this out all the way to that outer corner. Next, I'm going in with the shade Waterfall, and it has some purple undertones to it. And you guys can barely see the purple. It looks more gray, but in person, it kind of has like more of a purplish undertone. It looks so beautiful. And I'm just using another flat brush to apply this, you guys. Use tapping motions to apply that though before you start to rub it onto the eyelid. And now I'm going back in with the shade Moth, and I'm just going to be applying this in that outer area so that it looks blended and it doesn't look like it's just on there. Now I'm going to be removing this tape really quick, and there we have it, some sharp eyeshadow. And with the makeup towel remover, I'm just going to remove all the excess powder that fell underneath my eye. You guys, this is why it's important to do your eyeshadow before you do your foundation, because it could be really messy. Now I'm using the Italia Deluxe eyeliner, which is my ultimate favorite. I mention it in every single video. This eyeliner, you guys, it's so nice, dark and matte. I love it. And it says it's waterproof, but I can confirm it's not. But that's not a big deal because it is a really, really good dark eyeliner. Now I'm going in with my favorite mascara. This is from ColourPop, and I'm only adding a coat so I can apply my falsies. These are from my website, you guys. They're the Violeta lashes from my website. If you guys are interested, the link is down below in the description. And I'm just going to apply this with some duo glue, which you guys can purchase on Amazon. It's like about $8 to $10, I believe. And now I'm going back in with the shade Moth, and I'm using a small flat brush, you guys, to apply this right onto my lash line. You guys, take small amounts of product and then add some more when you do this, because you don't want to have fallout. Since we already have our foundation on, we have to be very careful in keeping this eyeshadow as tightly as possible to our lash line. Next, I'm going in with my favorite pencil eyeliner, and this is from ColourPop, you guys. It's very buttery and it's easy to apply onto our waterline. I love it so much, so I'm just going to be putting this on my waterline and slightly onto my lash line so that I could blend this with the shade Moth. Now I'm going back in with my little brush, and I'm taking some more of the shade Moth, and I'm just blending these two together, and it just creates this nice blended and smoky effect. Now I'm going in with the shade Lightning, and I'm just going to be applying this onto the inner corner of my eye to give the eyeshadow this extra pop. And also remember to spray that with some setting spray so that you can get the best, brightest results. Now I'm just going back in with my ColourPop mascara to add some on my lower lashes. And this is the finishing look, you guys. Comment the word gray at the bottom if you guys love this look and if you watched it all the way through. And you guys, remember, let me know if you guys have any other color suggestions. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.